Hello, how are you? I hope you're keeping well and you're keeping safe and you're still being productive. My name is Marion and I'm the founder and the CEO of Majestic Events Kenya, and we have been in the events planning industry for the last 10 years. Now, the purpose of this channel is to improve the lifestyle of event planners, and we do this through giving tips, training, and inspirational videos. So if you're an event planner and you want to improve your lifestyle, please subscribe to the channel below. Now today I will be discussing or sharing the second tool that you need to build a mature business. Now if you ever want to have other event planners handling the events in your business and you're not necessarily having to be there, the best way to do this is through process mapping. And process mapping is literally creating or developing processes for each element that is operating within your business. So today I will be sharing some facts, the benefits of process mapping, and also I'll let you know or show you how to go about process mapping. So what are the facts about process mapping? And this will allow me to read. The first fact: Edward Deming, the father of modern quality and customer satisfaction, says 85% of workers' effectiveness is determined by the process he or she works in, and only 15% is determined by his own skill. What this means, it means that processes are important. The only way our teams, our employees will perform well is if we have processes that are in place. Okay, so whether you're a large corporation or a two-person company, you need to have your processes. The second fact is that process mapping can actually move you from a stage 4 business, which is where you only have one event planner, which is yourself, to a stage 5 business where you have more event planners handling the events as opposed to you handling them on your own. All right, so now I'd like to share the benefits of process mapping. The first benefit is consistency. It creates consistency for your customers, and this is important because when you have processes, you don't treat the same customer differently all the time. You don't have an up day, a bad day. It's a consistent service, and this is really good because it creates loyalty amongst your customers, and they'll keep coming back. The second benefit is that process mapping literally tells you the areas within your business that need the most attention. Okay, and the third benefit is that it allows you as the business owner to know exactly how much you're doing within your business. And I think for me, this was the most rewarding thing, is I realized I was doing a lot. So that's why I like working with process maps. The fourth is it's a wonderful training tool. So how do you ensure that the event planners in your team can do an event just as good as you do them? The best way to do it is through process mapping, because it's a very good training tool. So you're able to transfer your skills, and even when you have an event planner like going on leave, just because the event planner is going on leave doesn't mean the work stops. Okay, the process map, you can train from peer to peer, so that's a good thing. And then the last benefit that I find is that process maps allows everyone in the business to see how they fit in the whole entire process or the whole entire business. So this thing of operating in a silo does not occur. So those are the benefits of process maps. Now, before I take you through the steps of process mapping, the first thing is, when you're doing this exercise, keep your words short. Don't use too many words. Secondly, if you have a team, and I mean even if you just have an assistant, please do this with them, because it will create ownership at the end of the day, and you need help to determine what actually is happening in your business. So let's go. Step 1 of creating your process map. Write down the major steps of your macro business. And in this case, I'm looking at event planning business, your entire business. Just write down the major steps. Don't take too much time. It shouldn't have more than 30 steps. And don't think too much about it, don't overcomplicate it, but just write the steps down. Once you've written them down, write the steps of the sub-processes. Sub-processes means that you go back to looking at the elements within your business. Remember the 7 elements of business, where we're talking about vision, business development, operations, delivery, financial management, customer satisfaction, all that. This is a time where you look down at all those 7 elements and think which of these elements actually needs a process map. Okay, so as an event planner, what worked for me is I did an operations process map and a customer satisfaction process map, and I think also a financial process map. So let's assume we're working with the operations delivery process map, which I would actually call the event planning, because that's how we deliver our service. Write down the major steps of the sub processes. And once you write this down, the next step would actually be to map it out into a flow chart using boxes. Again, make sure you don't have more than 30 because you don't want to overdo it. Once you've done that, and remember you're involving your team, once everyone, let's say you have someone who handles admin, ensure that the person who's doing admin also puts down, the sub processes and the steps. Once this is done, print out the process map. Remember, you're not supposed to write what you want to see. You're supposed to write down or map out what is the current situation. Okay, so once you do that, everyone has a printout, everyone goes, puts it, sticks it on the desk or on the wall, and works with that process map for 2 weeks. Why? Because as they're working, you want to make sure that what is on the process map is actually what's happening on the ground. That's the only way this process is going to work. Okay, so once that's done, you come back after 2 weeks, make the changes that are necessary, and then from there you color code. All right, and we're event planners, so color is very good. So what you do, assign a color to each person who performs a task within the process map. So let's assume you're working with 2 people, you the business owner and your assistant. So you as the business owner, you can give yourself red, and your assistant give them yellow. And so color code, every task that you the business owner does, put yellow, 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 and whatever the assistant does, put red, 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 red. Once you do that, then assign a pay grade. That's what Chuck Blakeman says, but in the States they use wages, or rather they're paid per hour, but us guys are paid per month. So just put down how much you earn every month in the red boxes, and how much your assistant or admin assistant earns every month in the red box. So if you get 100,000, 150,000 every month, put it there, put it there, put it there. Then sit back. Once you look at that process map, you may be shocked, because you may actually find out that there are a lot of reds, and a lot of reds means the business owner, which is you, are doing too many steps, and that probably needs to change. The other thing is, when you have your amount of money, like how much you're paid, you realize that the person earning 100,000 or 200,000 is doing tasks that probably should be done by the person who is earning 30,000 probably, which is your assistant. So I'm talking about tasks like banking checks, picking up checks. These are not things you should do. These are things you should delegate so that you can spend time doing the most important thing. For example, selling, and working on your sales process. All right, so once you've assigned the color, you've assigned the pay grade, sit back and then say, okay, this is the current process map we are working with now. What needs to change? And this is where working as a team really helps. Whether you're 2 people, 3 people, then you can start thinking, okay, what can be done by who? Maybe move this around, maybe instead of doing this admin task, let it move to so and so, okay? And then once you've done that, you then do what Chuck Blakeman calls cross-reference coding. And that basically means it's just coding. So if you were saying it's the event planning process map, you wouldn't want to have event planning step 1, event planning step 2. It's too wordy. So you just simplify it and make it, for example, EP1. So what I did is I've got EP1, EP2, all the way to EP30 or EP25, depending on how you run your business or how you run that delivery process. So once you've done that, then the last step is literally going through each box, each EP. Okay, so it's EP1. Look at EP1 and see, does this particular box, does this particular step require more information? And if it does, that is where you describe it a little bit more using steps. So it's like a mini manual, so to speak, so that if you print out the process map in the flow chart, if someone looks and says, wow, EP16, what does this mean? Like if it says social media, like what does this mean? So what do I need to do? They can literally go to the process description folder and look and see EP16, what does it mean? You shall be reporting this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's a more detailed. And once you have that, you're done with the process map. You're literally done with your operations process map. So all you have to do is now do this for maybe 2 or other 3 elements within your business. If you have more than 4 and you're a small business, I think you're doing too much. You might just be playing office. So just work with 3 to 4 max. All right. So that is process mapping, and that is all that it entails. All right. So if you found this helpful, and I'm sure you did, okay, I hope that you can now get your team involved and start working on your processes. And again, this is the best time to do it because you're not very busy, but events have started coming up. We're still, a lot of us are doing intimate events, intimate weddings, some corporate events. So write them down, okay, and enjoy the process. And if you need any help, please reach out, put a comment below, send us a message, inbox us on Majestic Events Kenya on Facebook, and for sure we'll get back to you and we will sort you out. All right, so happy planning, happy process mapping, have a good week.